historic battlefield.
If you basically take what road is that? It was
Jackson. I'm pretty sure it's Jackson.
If you take a Jackson almost from like Spanky's,
Yeah.
that area to the police station.
You can't miss it.
So it's that road that sort of runs behind the zoo. It'll come out behind El Toro or El Torito, the restaurant.
Yeah.
But can we talk about your paleo diet? Can you
if you
convert
want to
me
talk
to
about
the
paleo diet, I don't mind.
How long? I've heard. How long have you been doing it?
So today is
you know what it is?
Yeah, I know what the paleo diet is.
Paleo is not just what the cavemen used to eat, which is what the misconception about it.
No takeout.
No takeout.
But it's right, no pizza. But it's about taking out preservatives of your diet.
See, I told you it was a takeout diet.
Sounds like it. You take everything good out of it.
No. You get to leave meat and chicken and fish.
That's great, but how long did cavemen live?
Well, I don't know.
Preservatives keep you alive.
Presumably they were all thin, but how do we know, right?
all the skeletons are really thin that we found so far.
Who knows? But it has been. It's an experience. Take all dairy out of your diet. Take all wheat and pasta and rice out of your diet, and it's a rude awakening there.
Yeah, it sounds like a challenge for cooking because anything I cook, I want to make it taste better. I add cheese.
Right.
It's true.
Which you can't. Okay, so yes or no? Right? Tortillas.
Tortillas are out.
Rice.
Out.
Beans.
Out.
What?
But steak is in.
Okay.
Bacon is in.
Bacon.
Avocado, eggs, cheese, fish, and chicken are in.
Okay. Spaghetti.
No.
Bread.
No.
Mushrooms.
Yes.
What?
Nuts.
Mushrooms, nuts are
Almonds,
in.
Okay.
Almonds, any kind of nuts that you
so
can make.
How about soy milk?
Coconut milk.
Coconut
milk. Unsweetened coconut or almond milk is in.
Coffee.
Coffee's in as long as you don't put sugar in it.
I don't think there was some Geico caveman, going to Starbucks.
Well, what's the benefit of it? I mean, it's besides weight loss. Is there something?
There's a lot of preservatives that are added to our food that do cause inflammation and can worsen some conditions. And there's also a lot of hormones and additives to cows and chicken and farm-raised fish that are not really that good for you. So it's about grass-fed cows and cage-free chickens and wild-caught fish so that they're really natural as opposed to the chickens that they shoot with hormones. So
we've just gone soft as a nation. We're letting the chickens free.
Well, my husband laughed because I bought some ground lamb and it was grass-fed lamb, so it was good. But on the package it said socially raised.
They took them to the movies
before they slaughtered them, right?
They sang him a lullaby.
So he's been on that. He's on day 26 also, and he's on that. And every time we go somewhere, he'll say, "Is that socially raised?" And it's funny when you think about it. But then when you think about it in the other way, what kind of stuff do we put in our food? And it really does make a difference. I can tell a difference in myself in
your
only 26 days. Initially you're a little tired because it's low carb, but fruit's in, so you do get carb, and potatoes are in, so you do get carbs in many other ways as well. But then after about the first week, I have all sorts of energy. I have way less heartburn. I absolutely no bloating. My wrists were sore. That's gone. My knees were sore. That's gone. It is an amazing change when you take all that out. I made my own mayonnaise, for God's sakes, and it actually tastes better than store-bought mayonnaise.
How do you do that? What's the
it's an egg.
A socially raised egg.
That's right, a cage-free egg. An egg, mustard powder, olive oil, light tasting olive oil, and salt. I think it's salt. And it's very easy to make in a food processor, and lemon juice. Very easy.
We had talked about you needing to do your own paleo cooking show. I think to show them how, because it's not easy, right? I mean, you have to research and what.
Well, if you go into the inner part of Mexico, they eat differently than we do here on the border, and they eat more vegetables and grow their own vegetables in a lot of places. So on the border, our Mexican is tasty, but it's not always that healthy. So going paleo really takes us more back to the inner Mexican way of cooking with the fresh vegetables and so on and so forth.
So on the border, though, you think that's interesting? If you were to do like the history of food here, is it just because of the lack of resources, how sparse it was, and I mean, really the need to have a lot of calories as easily as possible? You know, you're out there working the fields, for example. You need a lot of calories, right? And
I think
our diet never adjusts to, hey, we're not plowing anymore.
First of all, refrigeration came in, and so farmers markets died off, and that's true all across the United States, not just here on the border. But if you look at the border diet and border health statistics along the whole Texas-Mexican border, you'll find very similar things in that Mexican food got morphed as it met up with American food, and the result may have tasted good, but it wasn't really that good nutritionally. It lost a lot of its nutritional value.
And that is kind of a point, you know, like paleo is a diet that some have promoted. Others are saying let's just start eating natural again. Now, you know, let's get away from processed and eat now. Are vegetables bad? Are you telling us not to eat our vegetables?
No, vegetables are absolutely good. They're free, meaning you can have as many as you want. So I don't think anybody can live on paleo forever, because eventually you really do miss cheese and toast and pasta. But the point is that shouldn't be the whole staple of your diet. You shouldn't only have bread and pasta in your diet. You need those vegetables. So yeah, you have pasta once a week, no big deal. But you also have your pasta with lots of vegetables and so on and so forth.
Do you count calories?
I don't, and they don't on paleo either. And I will say it's the first diet, and I've been on diets my whole life. I've never been on a diet where I wasn't hungry, and I'm actually full most of the time.
Well, and because you have such great medical expertise that I don't.
But like a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, because there's doctors and then there's doctors. There's doctors that can actually help people.
She's a medical doctor. We don't have a certificate on the wall.
No.
She does carry one in her.
I didn't bring my stethoscope, but go ahead.
You said something about carbs and getting tired and that you get tired, and I start thinking that's especially important for anybody who has even a desk job, an office job. You're like zoning out in the middle of the afternoon. You gotta feed the brain.
The 3 o'clock wall, right?
Yeah. So how do you get past the 3 o'clock feed the brain?
Well, because when you get past it, you will realize that you go into a time or a state of more energy than you had before. So people also describe it as
call that delirium.
No, they call it the carbohydrate haze. That we have so much carbohydrate in our diet. We think we feel good, but then when you take it out and you get past that, that initial point, you realize that was really a haze you were living under. So, but you got to get to that point. If you only give it a couple of days, you're going to give in and you'll never find the other side.
Why do you hate carbs so much? What have they done to you?
They hate me, okay? I went to a doctor once, another doctor, and I was complaining.
How is that, by the way?
It's strange. It's strange.
That's almost like paying somebody. Yeah, you're a plumber, but you got to get a plumber in.
It's a little odd, I have to admit.
But y'all like judge each other, like really?
You try not to, but you can't help it.
What do you judge on? It's like manner. Is it? Oh, really? That's the test you're running.
We judge just like every other patient judges their doctor.
Yeah. But it'd be like a coffee shop owner going into another coffee shop, and they're just trying to find out my secrets.
I know. It's like
this is espionage.
Yeah, it's like an attorney meeting another attorney. That's probably the
But doctors are patients too, so they deserve to find a provider that.
They're probably the worst patients.
Yeah. We are the worst patients in that we don't always follow directions, and we usually wait till the very bitter end before we go ask for help.
So they're like a guy.
So if you see like an obese doctor, does everyone kind of like, oh, you're not setting a good standard?
We won't go there. We'll, or you could say the same of what about if your doctor smokes? That would be a very bad example to set for their patients. But you
need a new doctor if your doctor dies, though.
Yeah.
good sign
without
that you made an
without
second
saying. I
opinion.
I would agree
Well,
on that.
before I cut you off, you said you went to a doctor.
I said that I went to a doctor. I was
like 5
having
minutes ago.
trouble losing weight, which is really the story of my life. And I said, doctor, I went to this place that I won't name that's not in this country to try and lose weight. And I was taking these pills, and he said, and my shins went numb. And he said, you know better than that. You shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. And I'm like, but I really want to lose weight. And he
But it
said,
said on the box.
I
it's
know,
safe.
right? He said, Rose, you're just built to survive a famine. And I thought, is that a compliment?
I think it
Does that
is.
mean I process carbs so well that I just never lose weight? And he said, yes. I didn't go back to that doctor. No, I'm
No,
kidding.
that's-
You have the perfect zombie apocalypse
Yes, I
body.
was gonna say, yeah, the next zombie
You asked
apocalypse.
me, why do you hate carbs?
Right.
That's why I hate carbs, because I was built to survive a famine.
Carbs hate me. I like that. So now I know a little bit more about the paleo diet, and it's
It's
all about
actually
you.
very interesting, and you're supposed to do it for 30 days, so it's like a cleanse.
And you're on day.
26.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
So after it's all said and done, there's some cheeseburgers going to be lined up.
All right. Well, we were gonna have like a stack of tortillas here for you.
Just to make me feel bad, and or just to put them in the other room so that the smell